Hi, I'm James Harlan, the Dean and Rector of the American Cathedral in Paris. It's truly one of the joys of my life to share this incredible building, all of these beautiful spaces, with people in the community in Paris and beyond. We're thrilled to offer this space for your events, your gatherings, your parties, and we hope that as you come and enjoy this space, you'll experience the hospitality, the tradition, and the beauty that we get to enjoy here week to week.
Welcome to the American Cathedral in Paris. Bienvenue à la cathédrale américaine de Paris. We are happy to welcome your visit and happy for you to consider using our spaces. Nous sommes ravis que vous êtes en train de considérer nos espaces pour votre événement et nous sommes ravis également de vous accueillir. All the information shared in here is also certainly available in French, as we are a bilingual community, and we would be happy to explain things further in either of those two languages, English or French. Right now we're outside the front gate of the cathedral. You can see it behind. You may want to make a note of the tower, and the tower is the second highest tower of all the churches within the city of Paris. The grill you see over the front gate leads into that's our main entrance. That's the entrance to the entire cathedral and the community, as well as to the nave, which is the largest and most important room of our establishment. Also, further into the narthex, which is that first small area, the receiving area, you can see our garden. And the garden is something we're quite proud of, and you are certainly welcome to consider including that in one of your events. To your left, as you enter the main entrance of the American Cathedral, there's a secondary room called the Fleetwood Room, which serves as a small conference room. It's 40 square meters, and also often as a vestiaire or a coat room for events that are hosted here. So welcome again to the garden. Just if you look around the space, that's really quite pleasant for a moment of repose. The garden is the center, and from the garden you can see really all our spaces and all our crucial rooms. The nave is to my right, and that's 1,000 square meters, and we'll be stepping in there in a moment. Opposite the nave is an apartment on a couple of different floors where our dean, or principal priest, lives with his or her family. The back area that goes up a couple of stories is where a Montessori school has been located for close to 50 years now. That's our parish hall building. And you can also see a kind of a memorable space, which is our cloister. Why don't we go in there? And in the cloister, you see a memorial that has been created by our community for the Americans lost in both World War I and World War II. So it's a sacred space for us. Please join me now in the nave of the American Cathedral in Paris, which is our principal worship space. As we enter from the principal doors in the back, you'll see that it's quite a large space, including a 10-meter ceiling, and it's 1,000 square meters in total, including the two chapels, which are located near the front. And I'm sure you'll want to look around the whole space, as it's an impressive example of Gothic revival architecture. This style and the execution of the building have led us to be named a monument historique inscrit. That is, we're considered important in the overall annals of French architecture. Of note in the nave, and if you'll follow me up the center aisle now, our organ, which is located both in the front to the right of the nave and in the back central section. In addition to the organ, you'll want to make note of the impressive stained glass which surrounds our nave. It's a depiction of the Te Deum, and the quality of that art is echoed as well by the triptych, which is an excellent example of the pre-Raphaelite tradition. The triptych is located, as is quite clear, in the center of the altar. Other objects of note that we're lucky to have here and we're happy to share with you are the Cole Porter piano. Cole Porter played the piano a great deal during the 20s in Paris when he visited often, and it was donated by a devoted parishioner, a Mr. Sturges, to the American Cathedral. You'll also note that there are two side chapels, the St. Paul the Traveler Chapel There's also a martyr's chapel, and located within the martyr's chapel is another important artwork, the Roussillon Master. Now, if you will, I'd like to proceed out the front left door of our nave to show you the secondary rooms. Now that we've left the nave, you're actually in a crucial corner of the American Cathedral in Paris, in that all our rooms are located in close proximity to this corner. There's a kitchen entrance, one of two. In addition, there's the cloister entrance, which is to my left. Also in this area are the stairway that connects all 5 floors, as well as the elevator, and the parish hall, which is our second most important room, which I'd be delighted to show you now. The parish hall is where we have coffee after services on Sunday, and a large number of choirs rehearse here, and there are frequently classes and conferences in this room as well. For anyone concerned about logistics, it's helpful to note that the second entrance to the parish hall leads to a stairway out to a private street where parking is made available to those who might be hosting an event here, including for catering facilities and the like. So you can see that the impasse, which is located parallel to Avenue Georges V and Avenue Marceau, is an easy point of access for preparing and organizing events. If we go back into the parish hall, we can easily step into the second principal entrance to the kitchen, which is, as we like to say, an industrial strength kitchen. We prepare meals on a weekly basis for hundreds of people, and caterers or agencies or event planners are certainly welcome to use these facilities as well. It includes a complete set of stove and oven and refrigerators and a dishwasher that only takes 5 minutes, as well as secondary refrigeration located nearby. Let's step back into this hallway, and we've only got a couple of rooms left, but I do want to show you 2 that are quite different and very interesting down on the -2 level. So if you could follow me downstairs. On the right, as you exit the stairwell, there's the crypt, which is an impressive example of Edwardian architecture. Down the hallway that leads from the crypt, you can see a complete set of bathrooms. For those planning larger events, it's worth noting that their guests will have access to bathrooms on -2 as well as +1, so easily accessible, again, with the elevator or the stairs. And there's an additional bathroom available for usually technical teams in the alley next to the nave. Now I can show you a more modern space that's often used for classes, both theater classes as well as language classes and any sort of event, as well as conferences. The garden classrooms are well lit and are 65 square meters, and also the room can be divided. If we return down the hallway again and go up the stairs, we can also step briefly into the music suite, where our music direction has their offices, and where another mid-sized conference room is available for a variety of purposes. Now we'll return back to the main floor of the American Cathedral in Paris. I'd love to walk you through the garden one more time, and I'm sure you'd appreciate another look at the tower. Thank you for considering our spaces for your activities, and we do want to say that the reason we welcome you is, while we have our own spiritual message that we carry to the communities around us, it's important for our community to welcome in the influences from the outside as well. Thank you for your time and attention.